Alright. I thought I was running late. Um, I have a specific thing I do before I get on here, so looks like everything looks good. Alright. Alright, guys. Hi, my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Normal J Gaming, and what we do here is listen to talk. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. It is hump day. We're halfway through the week. Um, you know, sometimes you start out your week good, and then hump days like this. Well, that's like a hump. You just have to go downhill from here. So, just a couple more days of the weekend. For me, I don't really use weekends like that. But, so, you know, I try to use these videos, whether or not be on live or whether or not it be on regular videos, to give you guys the best advice that I can. All right, so that when I'm talking about something, that you know that I know what I'm talking about. But it brings up an interesting question, because I see this all the time with other people and with me from my past. Who do you get advice from? Who? How do you decipher whether this person over here has good advice or whether this person has bad advice? Or are you one of those people, like I used to be, where any advice from anyone is better than my advice, that I didn't trust myself at all? Right? Maybe you're one of those people. Maybe you're one of those people that only goes to family. Oh, I only go to family. I only go to family because I only trust family. Right? Oh, in the case of me and Dwan never had family. So, how do we get advice? Why did Dwan always come to me for advice? Well, I could explain that one, but I'll get to that in a second. Do you go to your friends because they're your friends? Do you go to your friends because they've stuck by you all this time and so forth and so on? Here's what I say about all that. Right? Let's address a couple things. If you're going to someone for advice, because advice has nothing to do with love. It has nothing to do with even believing in another person's ability to give you advice. All right. Advice simply is, can you give me the information that I seek? Simple as that. So that's why it's not a problem that you might look up information on Google or through YouTube, because I don't have all the answers. I can't tell you how to build something. I can tell you how to build yourself. That's what I'm good at. But what I've experienced in my life is that the more people get to know me, the more people know how I am and how much I know about stuff, and how good of advice I give on just lifestyle choices and things like that, because of my experiences, because of my bad past. That's what people come to me for, because I told you, trust. In that video that I put up on Monday, I talk about that trust is based upon time, consistency, and repetition. So basically, over a period of time, you have to be consistent and repetitive about the information that you give, and that person's trustworthy, or that person is not trustworthy, because you can get that same information to realize, oh wait, over a period of time that person doesn't show up to work on time, doesn't show up to anything on time, that you cannot rely on that person to show up to anything on time. So asking that person to be there for you is probably a bad idea. because that person's always going to have something that gets in their way. That's called good advice. That's how you locate. And it's a trial and error thing in the end. So when I first met Sophia, I trusted her about as far. I want to make sure everything's right on over here. Okay. Sorry, I don't have my screen. You guys can see my screen more than I can, right? Or do you guys just see the back screen? I guess you guys just see that one. I have 2 TVs now. Anyway, so when I first met Sophia, people had lost their faith in me. They didn't believe in me because I was consistent. I was consistent about being messed up all the time. I stopped being a good friend, a good person to other people because I was so focused on just trying to make my mistakes less and less, but it never worked. And I sure as hell didn't trust anybody else. No way. All right. So when I first met Sophia, that was really where I was at. Didn't trust anybody. I quite honestly didn't think. I assumed that eventually I would do something to Sophia that she would leave me or kick me out. Okay, that she wouldn't be there for me anymore. Because the way I looked at it was everybody else had done it. Why wouldn't she be different? So I was ready to be homeless at any point at the beginning. All right. I can laugh about that now, but that's sad. Really think on what I just said. That's sad that I was waiting for her to kick me out. Okay? For a couple years like that, honestly. Well, over the years, she has been the only person that's been there for me. And at first it was only Sophia, and I had a hard time opening my heart, my mind up to anyone else. She was the only one that saw me for me. And so I would vent to her, empty my guts, empty my brain, empty it utterly. And then I would fill it with stuff she would tell me. So she would basically be writing notes in her head about stuff I vented about. And we began to address certain things. You know what I realize now? That had she not been able to do it that way, I would have never changed. See, what happens, and this is sad, it's sad that this happens, that you go to a person for help, and then they begin to control your life. They begin to control every aspect of your life. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. They've stopped guiding you. They're now controlling you. For those of you who like to help people, be aware that you're not helping when you do that. You're actually being the very thing that people accuse me of all the time. People try to accuse me of being a tyrant, a dictator, a control freak, even though I don't do that. I say there are consequences because I have rules in my own life. I have to have discipline in my life. I can't have undisciplined people around me. I didn't have any rules before. Part of the reason why I can talk to the types of people that I talk to is due to the fact that I am open-minded. All right, and a lot of people that want to help you are not open-minded. They're right, you're wrong. Change. I have a few people that I'm thinking about right now. I'm not going to say their names. One person specifically that, yeah, he'll help you, and then if you don't do exactly what he's saying, he'll let you know that you're not really serious about changing. You're not really serious about whatever it is. And it's sad that they can't see what they're doing. You have to allow self-choice. So when you're choosing the person you're talking to, that person has got to have that personality of, when you vent, which most likely it's going to be one or two people that you do this with. When you vent to a person, you can't have them calling the cops every time you talk about suicidal thoughts. The idea is to get those suicidal thoughts off of your thinking. So actually talking about it, you're actually trying to help yourself. Think on that, really. And so it's hard to make friends when you're venting. So back in those days, I wasn't trying to make friends. I wasn't ready to make any friends. Y'all follow? Now, another thing is knowledge. So, very simply, I think experience is worth more than knowledge, but I'll get to that in a second. Another reason why I trust Sophia, especially with things that I normally don't trust anyone with, not even the people that are in the medical field. I don't trust doctors, for example. I don't. Sorry. I've had too many bad experiences with them. I'm not saying they're bad people. I just don't trust the medical field. But I do trust Sophia. So when she tells me, even though I don't want to listen to her sometimes, and it sucks to listen to her talk about, oh, you need to stop. You're gonna have some blood sugar thing or whatever. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating that I can't be a pig anymore when I eat. I may debate her, I may rebel, and I may go, I'm not gonna do that, blah blah blah. In the end, I usually sit by myself and I think about what she said. It might take me a couple of days to make the decision, because I want to be right. And I know that it doesn't have to be fast. So when you are getting advice from somebody, as opposed to the person giving the advice, there are rules to this. The rules you must follow, or you're gonna have a bad time. It's not gonna get done what you think it will get done. So knowledge is important. One of the reasons why I think it's so cool that I can do all this stuff on video now is because I can show you, yes, actually I do know what I'm doing. It makes some people feel so much better when that person has a degree. But he's got a degree, she's got a degree. It's a piece of paper. I knew the same amount of knowledge before I got the piece of paper that I did as I did afterwards. It's like a certification, a stamp. You don't get to stamp me, because I love knowledge of all types. And now, for my business sake, there are some things I want to do, but it has nothing to do with going to college. It has to do with, like, do you think I actually need a life coach license? I think I have one all over my body. They're called scars. My life coach license has been sealed and approved by God. So that piece of paper does nothing for me. It's not impressive to me, and nor am I going to show it off to anybody. Nor am I going to have some party if I were to ever graduate something like that. I'm not going to have some party celebrating my achievement. No, this is an achievement. Talking to you guys is an achievement, not that piece of paper. Watching Dwan change his life is an achievement. Watching Sophia change her life is an achievement. Lori telling me that she's changed certain things and changed certain perspectives because of me is an achievement, not that piece of paper. I'm so proud of my friends, so proud of my people. And I'm proud of myself. So knowledge matters. But I think that the next one matters more. Experience. One thing that I think you guys, either if you don't know it, you started to get it, that I am very experienced. My life has been nothing but an experience. Sometimes I wish that experience would be over. Sometimes just, I don't mean my life, but just the experience of some things. And I try to do my best to use that experience to give you guys some experience. That's the point of this. That's the point. Make sure. Okay. I want to make sure I'm not going too long. I want to see my pacing. So it's 8:15 now. I'll stop around 8:30. But do y'all follow me? So experience. So when I'm talking to a person with low self-esteem, they tell me something that happened to them that causes them to have a low self-esteem. The reason why I'm able to speak with them about low self-esteem is because I used to have a low self-esteem. Experience. No classroom, no piece of paper taught me that. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to shame people with a college education. But just because you have a college education doesn't mean you don't. If you went to college, doesn't mean you have any experience with this stuff, because you don't. Sorry, you just don't. I haven't. This is gonna sound really arrogant, but I haven't met a person with a college education that's actually impressed me. Except for one person. There's only been one person ever in my whole life that has impressed me with their vast amount of knowledge. But I use it for good. I use it for other things. That's what I use my knowledge for. I don't study. I didn't study the Bible to tell you guys what a great Christian I am. I studied it so that I could help you guys be better people. So that's where my stuff comes from. So when you guys watch these videos, you're taking advice. You're doing the step we're talking about. All right, ingredient. You're carrying the ingredient you're talking about when you get on these lives. All right. I'll tell you what I think is equally as important as experience. Is, does the person actually want to be your friend? Can they be your friend? Or are they just someone you talk to? Or that's all they are. It's just you don't go and you feel better when you talk to them. I would say that's a good person to go to. But I would also say get to know them better and become friends with them. You will truly trust them then. Really. I'm not here to be anyone's analyst. I don't want to analyze people all the time. I want to be your friend. I want you to come to me because you know I love you. Because you know I'd do anything to help you. Fact. Right? In my experience, there are a lot of real selfish jackals out there that will claim that they're good people, but in reality, they just want something from you to glorify themselves. It's been my experience. So it was my dad's experience too, as being a preacher. What does that mean exactly? Well, what that means is you have to be always watchful. People change over time. Just because a person gave you good advice before doesn't mean they're still going to give you good advice. I lost a friend recently that is clear now that that person is not my friend. That they have too many problems, and I was willing to help this person. That person took advantage of my kindness and decided to lambaste me. And so even I still have to be wary of this stuff, because I can't pay anybody to help me. If anybody helps me, they help me out of the kindness of their heart, which means that I have to be willing to deliver my message, my videos, however you want to say it. I got to be able to deliver this stuff to you guys so that anyone who's helping me knows that that money is worth it, that they didn't waste their money on me. So when a person gives me money, that's why I work so hard, because I get SSI. I feel like it's stealing. So, what other things should you look for? What other things should you look for? We talked about experience, we talked about knowledge, friendship. What other things do you think a person should have as a person you talk to and get your advice from? Trustworthiness. Trustworthiness. Do they lie? Lying and truth telling to me is one of the most important qualities a human being can have. Are you going to help? Are you going to tell me what I need to hear or what I want to hear? Because if you're going to tell me what I want to hear, you are not a good advisor. I cannot change my life. I cannot do the things that I say that I'm going to do if you're only going to feed me positive things. It doesn't work. Humans don't work like that. Even Jesus mentioned hell and Satan and demons more than he talked about salvation, good, things like that. There is good and there's evil. No matter what you're going through, there are people out there that are purposeful in their ability to use you, or they do it by accident. You say, well, how does a person accidentally use you? Well, a person has a viewpoint, and they think that they can turn around whatever you say on yourself as a way of defending themselves. That's using a person. Okay? My ear's hurting. But anyway, but y'all understand. Trust is a thing that if you don't have it, if you don't have trust, you're not going to accomplish your task. I think that I'm going to go ahead and get going here because I'm going to get to work. I want y'all to think of something. These videos I do every 2 weeks, I want y'all to really think of the things I'm talking about. Really think and tell me Tell me how you would apply them. Even if you don't trust it, how would you apply it? You tell me send me a DM or make a comment below that video and tell me. I'm talking about not this one, but this one too if you want. But I'm talking about the videos on the ingredients. Tell me how you would apply that ingredient to a situation. I want to hear what you have to say. I learn from everything. So, I hope that you guys had a good week so far, and I hope you guys continue to have a great week. I'm gonna get going here. I'll get to work. Just grinding out my videos, trying to get those ready to go up when they come up every 2 weeks. I hope that you guys are safe when you're traveling. Hope you're safe when you get there. Be aware of your surroundings. Be understanding of one another, not just from your perspective, but from theirs. Be understanding of yourself. That is one that I have had a hard time not being hard on myself. Ever since Dwan's death, I've been more willing to be easy on myself because it's been hard. But it's a practice thing. So I've been having to practice. I've had to be understanding of myself. So be understanding of yourself. Right? Remember that life is fleeting. You're not promised your next breath. So take now, go outside your box, and learn something new. And you never know what you might find out about yourself. Really, truly. Try it out. So until Friday, have a great night. And may the Lord light guide you in all things. Goodbye.